You believe May's about to be over? Like school's out or about to be out for my kids. I know out for others, but where's the time go, man? So as the summer heats up, let's get into this. I think we got a good one today. The reality is it's not as heavy mortgage and interest rates. That's probably why it's good because it's actually more fun and interesting stuff. But let's get into it to get the rate part out of the way. Rates up just a touch, still in that low seven range. This is according to Mortgage News Daily. You can see rates. We talked about it last week, how we thought if we could hold above this purple line, that 100-day moving average would be good. We did not, and therefore we've come down. And you now see that we're sitting on that black line, the 50-day moving average. I think we're probably going to move sideways here for a little bit. So I think for the next 30 days, we'll see if I'm right. I think it could be hovering somewhere in this range. So don't expect a whole lot of changes coming up. HUD, just as an FYI, I found this interesting. They've increased the maximum fee that lenders can charge for a loan assumption. So what that means is if somebody has like a government loan, FHA or VA, a buyer can assume that mortgage and take over their 3% rate or whatever it is they might have. But that fee, I didn't realize this. It was capped at 900. Now it's 18. I didn't realize it because, guys, I don't do assumptions. So mortgage servicers, the one you actually make your check to every month, they're the ones that do the assumptions. So if you guys have something, you want to sell it, call me. I'll give you a little guidance, but it's not my world. I'll help you the best I can. We'll go from there. These Gen Zers and young millennials took out apparently 40% of all mortgages last year. That to me was very surprising. So the younger generations, the millennial cutoff, let's just call it 40 for round numbers. So the folks that are 40 and below took out about 40% of all the homes in the United States. So I don't know, maybe you thought that was surprising or not, but you can see the number for the under 35-year-olds dominated. So good for you guys, you younger generations. I give you a lot of grief sometimes, but good for you guys to be keeping us busy in the mortgage world. Texas, God bless us. We are the second ranked net migration state, only beat out by Florida, apparently. So these are the top 10. You guys can see the bottom right. If you want to look at your state, these are the net migrations as being positive, meaning people are coming into your state. You see the big red ones on the left. You got California and New York. You know, people don't want to be there apparently. So while it's fun to visit, I don't want to live there. No offense to anybody watching. Texas, let's go specifically Dallas-Fort Worth. I just thought these were interesting stats. Got them from Zonda. They just show, what it is for every big metropolitan area in Texas. If you care enough to slow down and look at it, more power to you. I just thought it was interesting that apparently Houston has the highest unemployment rate amongst the big cities, which I guess I don't have a good answer. Oil and gas, maybe. I don't really know, but there you go. We also, Texas, again, dominates the new home starts. So you can see the Dallas-Fort Worth annual starts, 46,000. We're still building and still catching up from a housing shortage. Houston, number 2. Austin, San Antonio, 7 and 8. And you guys can see the list. So if you're in one of those cities, good for you. If you're not in that city, probably not doing a lot of new constructions, my guess. Credit card balances. We talked about it at an all-time high. I want to show what it means in terms of recessions. So you guys can look back for the last 25 years, give or take here. Whenever there's a down tick in the credit card balances, meaning they go up and then all of a sudden they start coming down, apparently there's a recession right around the corner. So I don't know that I totally fundamentally understand that, because you would think as balances would come down, that things would be getting better because people are making more money, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So you can see in the 07, 08, the mortgage meltdown time period, that may be a little different, but I just thought that was interesting. And you guys can see the little tick over here on the far right. There's a move down and lower. So does that mean recession's here or coming? To be determined. Personal savings rate, while the credit card debt's at all-time highs, personal saving rate, we are at I don't even know how many decades that is. Call it three decades, almost. Yeah, call it 3 decades of low saving rate. So people are putting balances on their credit card for a reason, and they're obviously not saving a lot of money. But I thought this graph was interesting. Check out COVID, 34% at that time. Jeez. All right, Gamber's fallacy. And I love this when I go to Vegas. It's not often when I do, though. You get 7 reds on roulette, and then you're like, okay, the next one's going to be black, even though every spin's an independent spin, right? And, it's its own thing. The reality is it's really hard to get 9 blacks in a row. So same thing for the stock market. If you say, man, it's gone really, really, really good, at some point it's going to be bad. That's kind of what this whole article was about. But I just thought these returns were interesting. So listen up, folks. Year to date right now, you've made 11% on your money, apparently. 1 year, 30%, 5 year, 94%. So in 5 years, you've doubled your money, which is impressive, right? You guys can see the stats year by year there in the middle. The point I'm just trying to make is I got folks saying they want to invest in investment properties, or they want to go, put their money into some sort of passive fund or do something. I always ask them, what's your return you're expecting? Because this is just proof over the last, you pick the time period, 5, 10, 15 years. If you put your money in the stock market and just close your eyes and leave it in there, it eventually goes up. So again, the return, this is the interest, this chart on the right, you see the red and the blue, just the years that it was up and down. More often than not, it's up. So cool. So it's always time in the market, not timing the market. This is my soapbox for the day as far as how to invest. If you guys just put your money in the S&P and do it consistently, even if it's just a small amount, but do it consistently over time, it'll make for big gains. But I thought this chart was really interesting. I like seeing this, and I don't know what year that is, but mid 50s, you got a 53% return in 1 year. That's insane. So good for the S&P. Did you know? Bill Nye the Science Guy. Guys, this was shocking. I've said it, but to see the numbers actually written out, look at that top left. What is that? $582 billion have been added to the United States national debt just since January. We're not even through May, guys. It's only been 4.5 months at this point. We've already added 582,000 or 82 billion, $381 million to our national debt. And that's mostly in interest. So that to me is just scary. I don't think it's going to happen in this election cycle, but at some point we're going to have to face the music and pay this down. But that's just me trying to scare you. Over the next 6 months, with things getting so expensive, here's how people said they would reduce their spending. Most people said, the food away from home, restaurants, 45%, let's call it half the people said they're just going to go out to eat less. Then I'm going to buy less clothes. I'm going to do entertainment away from home. I'm going to do a whole lot less just going to the movies, whatever that means. So then all of a sudden you can start seeing the red part, which is the non-discretionary, meaning groceries. Kind of hard to cut down on that, yet 20% of people say they're going to cut down on their groceries, driving their vehicle. Pet related down at the bottom. I did no idea people spent that much money on their pets. Good for them. But I thought this was interesting. You may not. And then high net worth individuals. So people worth over $1 million is how this article qualified it. So the high net worth individuals apparently have 50%, over 50% of their wealth in real estate. 32% of it's in residential, 21% in commercial. I just thought that was very interesting. I believe it. So there you go. So real estate's a good investment, guys. And let's have some fun. Derek Jeter, he's selling a castle. Like apparently this has been in his family, I think for 70 years is what I remember reading. So for 70 years, and he listed it for 15 million. He's now put it back on the market for 6.3 million. What a steal. $9 million off. So if you guys got 6.3 million, you want a lake house in New York, there you go. And if you want it to look like a castle, the pictures are interesting. This was from northnewjersey.com. I don't know how I stumbled upon this, but I did. But I just thought it was interesting. So there you go. Lastly, if you know me, I had a coin collection. It's much smaller now. I sold a lot of them during the crazy frenzy of COVID when gold went really high. Sold some of those. But apparently this dude, I don't know who Lars Brunn is, but he was born in 1852. And when he died, he basically said you cannot sell his 20,000 coins until after 100 years has passed. Well, apparently that 100 years is now. We'll let you know. Well, I don't know if I'll let you know. If I see the article, I'll let you know. But apparently it's over $60 million. I know this says pounds, but, convert it. That's crazy to me. That's awesome. If I was a gajillionaire, yes, I'd buy this. And for the meme of the week, kudos to whoever thought of this. That's just funny. When you're buying a house, guys, you got to remember, remember to first be pre-qualified. But waka waka. All right, guys, as always, forward, share, subscribe, send this to anybody you know that might appreciate it and like it and love it. We appreciate, like, and love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. And thank you, as always, for watching.